A house divided cannot stand.
Okay.
And if African people do not unite globally, we will lose. Understand, we don't have any friends. The European is not our friend. The Arab is not our friend. The Jew is not our friend. The East India is not our friend. The Latino is not our friend. African people have no friends, but we don't need them. We are the largest racial group on the planet. It doesn't appear so because so many of us hide behind other non-African identities. But when you look at it genetically, we're the largest. Not even the Chinese are as large as African people. Slavery and colonization beat that racial ego out of African people. Beat it out of us to the point that we identify more with religion than with our race. But as Pan-Africanists, we would argue that the racial identity is the most spiritual and the most essential because you can change your religion. You can leave the church. You can leave the mosque. You can never stop being African because God made you African. And that's why being African race first. Number two, as Africa goes, so goes all African people. So the reason that we struggle in the Americas, we struggle in Europe, we struggle in the Caribbean, we struggle in Central and South America and Australia because Africa is not as strong as we need to help her become so she can look out for us. As Africa goes, so goes all of her scattered black children. Number three, self-determination. Whatever is to be done for African people must be done by African people alone. We must learn to work and build alone. We must cut the umbilical cord from our colonizers, from our enslavers, and understand that everything we need to repair Africa and African people is inside of us. We need nothing outside of us. Any people who are not proud of who they are have no right to exist and will sooner or later be exterminated. If there is no self-respect, there is no claim to the planet itself. And that's why if you look at Holocaust throughout history, they always sought to eliminate the necessity of the people they helped to exterminate even being on the planet. So if we don't see any interest in being African, why would the world see any interest in allowing us to survive? You must not only be African, you must want to be it, and as much of it as you possibly can. You can never be African enough, because with being African comes spirituality, it comes your economics, it comes your intellectualism, it comes your culture, it comes everything. So when we talk about being African, we're talking about the oldest civilizations in human history. Everything begins with us, and now is the time for us to take it back. I believe it is the destiny of the black man and woman, the African, to reclaim our ancient glory, because we are the only people who can rule this planet in justice. No other race can rule this planet in justice. They can only do it with fear and intimidation. We once ruled the world in justice, and there is no record of another race having ever ruled this planet with justice. Only the African. The Greeks came to Africa because they wanted to. The Romans came to Africa because they wanted to. The Hyksos came to Africa because they wanted to. We didn't have to kill or hurt, enslave or colonize. They wanted to be around us because we were the closest thing on earth to God.